Good evening. Wait, give me a second. I'm going to make sure this is working. Good evening, everybody. I'm trying to do this stream for a couple of days, and it keeps running into problems. So I think I have finally figured out a little more tweaking on my software, and we should be able to be a go tonight. Let me just make sure we're live and up. Yes, we are. Okay. So I was tutoring a student yesterday on the Hunter College High School admissions test, and I noticed that there was one example that she asked me about and kind of took me back because I decided to solve it through brute force, and then we ran out of time, and I realized on the way home that there was an algebraic way to do it in an event, and then I realized just trying to piece all this together that I might be able to do a kind of a dual stream here and address a Hunter College high school question that could indirectly end up on the SHSAT, or at least parts of it. So why don't we just try to jump in here? Let's see. This looks like it's stalling, so I'm not sure. The stream is good. Okay, it seems okay. All right, so what I'm going to try to do is bring parts of this on one at a time. By the way, my name is Greg. I'm from GregsTutoringNYC at gmail.com. Please don't hesitate to ask. Let's see, the SHSAT's still coming up. There's still a bunch of SHSAT dates. They're going to be for the next, at least for over 2 weeks now. The TACHS is still coming up. The Catholic high school test is still coming up, which can have similar questions. There is some minor overlap. And then there's the Hunter College test coming up, the College High School college test coming up in mid-January. So there's lots to go around. I also tutor regular tutoring, and I also specialize in the, in addition to specializing in the specialized high school and those kind of admission tests, I also specialize in the New York State tests. I also do in New Jersey as well, including the Bergen County Academy tests, which are for specialized high schools as well, and etc., etc., etc. So why don't I try to start adding these things one at a time to the screen, and let's see what we can get going here. All right. So like I said, I'm gonna just make this short. I ran into technical difficulties. I also just got back from the dentist, so I have Novocaine pumped into my mouth. I'm biting my cheek and I'm biting my tongue. So there's the Hunter College High School test, which is given in January, as I just said. And I noticed, again, talking to one of my students, that we came across a question. Let me try to scroll out to where that is. Question number 80. Let's just figure out where we get here. So here's the question. Rodney has 50 coins, including 1 quarter, that are worth $1. If he loses 1 coin, what is the probability that it was a dime? Interesting question. So I'm going to give everybody a few seconds to answer. Meantime, I just got a text. I'm going to answer the text. Think about it. There's a couple approaches you can take. I'll give you about a minute to think about that. And let me just make sure the stream is still going validly. Yeah, okay, I see it on the screen here. So what I'm going to do is position that in the corner so that we have it in front of us at all the time. Let's see, can we bring that here? Okay, and what I'm going to do is bring in another thing here, and I'm going to guess this is too tiny to see. Let me go back to the screen here. Just give me a second because I'm trying to watch this live at the same time and see if it catches up. And see how big is it on my screen, because you guys have probably some people are watching on their phones. Yeah, that's too small. Let me see if I can figure this out. Give me 1 second. Okay, we may have to shrink some of this down later. Let me see if I can get this showing on the screen. All right, it's still trying to catch up. Let me just expand it one more time, or what I might do is drag the window as well. Oh no, that actually looks reasonable. So you can brute force this. Yeah, you know what? Let me expand that so I'm not distracting in the background. Give me 1 second. Let me just check it on the other screen. Again, I'm a new YouTuber, and I've used OBS before, but not for these purposes. So let's just make sure that we're lined up. I don't want to start talking about something that's not showing on your screen. So I wrote this up on my phone while I was waiting to get into the dentist. So hopefully everything I have here is accurate. But so I broke the problem down into a whole bunch of scenarios. All right, give me 1 second because this is still not showing on my screen. I'm not sure if it's showing on your guys' screen. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, let me just bring the Hunter question back. I'm not sure if that will work. Let's see. Yeah, partially. All right, let me try to shrink this around a bit so we can get this lined up nicely. Okay, that might be sufficient. Let's see if it's showing on the screen right. And if it is, we can start getting this rolling. One more second. I want that to move just a smidgen again. Okay, there we go. No, wait, we're still not right. Okay, I want that screen on top of the other screen. 1 second. All right, there we go. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this, people. Okay, so again, this is the question number 80 from the Hunter College High School sample questions. So we're going to do a dual thing here. So Rodney has 50 coins, including at least 1/4. They're worth $1. If he loses one coin, what's the probability there's a dime? So here's the given. We give him 50 coins worth $1. We're also given one coin that is 1/4. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, first of all, in all this notation here, if you see a period followed by a colon, that's means therefore. Okay. So how to make sense of this question? Okay. Any thoughts? So what we're going to do is rewrite the question. So if $1 is 100 cents and a quarter is 25 cents, and we'd be given that 50 coins is worth $1, and 1 coin is at least a quarter, then we conclude that 49 coins are worth 75 cents. What I'm going to do is rewrite the problem. Give me 1 second, I want to print this out. Let's see. 1 more second. In the meantime, you guys are still looking at the problem and what I have there. I'm not sure if that's going to, the print queue is going to flip up on your screens too, but. And let me get that out the printer. Alright, so I'm back. So 49 coins worth 75 cents. So let's codify that algebraically. So if this is all true, then a $50 plus a quarter plus a dime plus a nickel plus a penny would be 49 coins. And therefore 50 cents times a $50. So what we're going to do, we're changing $1 to 100 cents. I had showed that before. So if 50 cents times a $50, the number of $50, plus 25 cents times the number of quarters, plus 10 cents times the number of dimes, plus a penny, is 75 cents. So now we have two expressions, two algebraic equalities. So what we're going to do is subtract the first equation from the second. We're going to get something like this. So I'm going to subtract $50, quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies respectively from each other, and this is what we're going to end up with when we do the subtraction. So the net effect of this is to throw away the pennies. Right? We're trying to solve this algebraically. And we'll get the pennies back later when we figure out the other numbers. So the problem is, even though we threw away the pennies, we still have too many other unknowns. We still don't know the number of $50, the number of quarters we know is at least 1. We don't know the dimes, we don't know nickels. Right? But at least we threw away the pennies. So what we notice now, though, is that H must be 0. We can't have a $50 because it's too much money. And we need 49 coins. On the same note, if we're only looking for 26 cents at this point, right, we can't have a quarter either. Because if there was a quarter, there's only 2 other coins left at most, and there might be pennies or whatever. So that also doesn't work. So what we're going to do is rewrite the original equation, or rewrite the question a second time. So we're going to take what we just ended up with a couple of lines ago on step D, and we're going to collapse it into that. Because we know we can't have $50 or quarters, so now the problem reduces down to, and we threw away pennies earlier. We're going to bring them back later. So now the problem reduces down to dimes and nickels. All right? So once we look at that, to get 26 cents, we realize two things have to be true about the dimes and nickels. We can't have more than 2 dimes. If we do, we're already 30 cents. And we can't have more than 5 nickels, otherwise we're also at 30 cents. So the number of nickels and dimes are within there. We have to have between 0 and 2 dimes and 0 and 5 nickels. And if we look deeper, for 26 cents, we realize we really need a multiple of 9 and 4. And it's 9 and 4 because earlier we did the subtraction above. That's still on your screen, that 49 each. We did that in step D. And we see that we moved the value of a dime in essence to 9 cents. And the value of a nickel in essence to 4 cents. And that's why earlier I changed it from D and N to D prime and N prime. Just to give us a mental note that we actually devalued these two. Because we did the subtraction between the number of coins and the value and stuff from the earlier step. Okay? So we also noticed that just using dimes to get to 26 cents or just using nickels won't work either. So 0 doesn't work for D or N. So we're going to, again, collapse everything back down to step K here, which is that some number of 9-cent dimes and some number of 9-cent nickels is 26 cents. So we have to have at least 1 dime, at least 1 nickel to establish that. So now, from what I could see, we hit the end of the road algebraically. So we're going to have to start using brute force. But we know the dime is 1 or 2. And then we're done. Right? And the nickel can go from 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, sorry. Alright? Okay, I wrote less than there. I should be using less than equals, I guess. We're going to go back and change that right now. In fact, I mean the thing. So, okay, so that should change on your screen in a second. It's not showing on mine yet because there's about a 10-second lag here. So we're going to brute force it. So we know so far we need 1 dime and 1 nickel. Right? So that looks like it's 15 cents. But remember we're talking about 9-cent nickels, 9-cent dimes, and 4-cent nickels. Okay, I made another mistake here again. No, that's 5 cents, sorry. So we're going to get 13 cents. But then we notice that we're targeting 26 cents, right? So that's 13 times 2. So that must mean if a dime and a nickel is 13, then twice that is 26 cents. So that's the combo that works for step O here. So P means that if we put 2 dimes and 2 nickels in, at the 18 plus 8, we're going to get 26 cents worth. And therefore Q means there's 2 dimes, 2 nickels. We were already told there was a quarter. And we know there's no half dollars. So now we're left with going back to the original problem, or at least our rewrite, which is how many pennies do we have? Okay, and if you plug it back into there, one of the original equations where we had looking for 49 coins, we notice that P is 45. Because 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, right? We need that. This should say 50 coins, actually, because we're including quarters now. And if we go back to verify the cents part and put those numbers in, so the X line means we're going vertically. 50 times 0, 0. 25 times 1 is 25 cents. 10 cents times 2 is 20 cents. 5 cents times 2 is 10 cents. 1 penny times 45 is 45. When we add 25, 20, 10, and 15, we get 100 cents. Okay? Alright, so we solved algebraically the number of each coin, and we just double check that when we plug them all back in, it makes sense. Unfortunately, if we go back to the original question, it says Rodney has 50 coins, including at least 1/4 that are worth $1. If he loses one coin, what is the probability that it was a dime? So we still haven't answered the question yet. So what's the probability it's a dime? Well, it's the number of dimes over the number of coins. So we get 2 out of 50 because we decided there were 2 dimes, which is 4 out of 100, or 0.04, or 4%. And if we go back and look at the answers, that would be choice number C. Okay. Yeah. So it'd be nice if there was some people alongside here. I'm a new YouTuber, so it's hard for that to kind of happen. And the SHSAT, I started doing these streams at the end of the SHSAT period, but then we're flipping into other things. So it'd be nice to get some subscribers here. Again, my name is Greg at GregsTutoringNYC at gmail.com. I tutor for specialized high schools, gifted and talented, New York State tests, etc., etc. I thought this was a pretty fun example, and now I can go back in a few days to this the girl I was tutoring on Sunday and give her a pretty well-defined answer that's even printed on paper. Okay, hopefully everybody's doing all right, and let me just bring me back for a second so I can give you guys a peace out. Alright, you guys, I'm not sure if this is going to show up or not. I'm going to put this in the corner here. Wait, I'm in the wrong corner. Peace out, people.